Well, this is a real pleasure. Welcoming to the show, we have a gentleman who loves a bit of coffee and TV in the morning in his country house from a band with over 3 billion streams that have headlined Wembley Stadium, Glastonbury. He also knows his way around a wheel of cheese. It's Alex James.
Morning, Simon. How are you? All right.
I'm really good, thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah. How the hell are you? Like, this is really cool. Thank you very much for doing this.
It's an absolute pleasure, man. Yeah, no, good, fresh, busy. Busy summer ahead. Not long till festival, and not long till Britpop Classical in Southampton. So, yeah, I got my hands full, really.
Yeah, so that is going to be this Saturday, so 13th of June. It is Britpop Classical. Like, where did this idea come from?
Good question, and it actually happened. It was like many of the best things in my life. It was actually born out of out of adversity, if not total disaster. Yeah, my day job now is running a festival, a food and music festival on the farm where I live in the Cotswolds, and there's 1,000 festivals up and down the summer, up and down the UK every summer, and they've all got something to offer. And I absolutely love hosting festival, most fun I've ever had. But ask anyone who runs any of those 1,000 festivals up and down the UK what the hardest thing about running a festival is, and they will all tell you without hesitation is booking your headline bands. It's just, I mean, because there are more and more festivals, and there's just not enough bands to go around. They're just not making bands anymore. There's not. It's really hard to break a new act. And a big one is like bigger than ever. Adele is bigger than the Beatles and the Rolling Stones put together, but there's no kind of medium ones, and certainly no little ones. So it's always a challenge finding a band that can rock a festival crowd. And we had going back to summer 24. Our Saturday night headliner at Festival. I can't remember who it was. Can't remember why it was, but they dropped out with not long to go, and so it was those. It was you ain't got a Saturday night headliner, you ain't got a festival. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So there was a really panicky Zoom call with all the execs and the booker, everyone going, "Ugh, what are we going to do?" And the booker was like, Alex, trust me, don't panic. Ministry of Sound Classical, you're going to love it. It's 90 minutes of hits, trust me. I mean, he says that about everything. Nothing is 90 minutes of hits, right? Not even ABBA Voyage. That's like a solid 70, 20 minutes of filler. Um, but I didn't have any choice. So I said, grab it. Watched it. It was 90 minutes of hits. It was amazing. Like best show we've ever had here at Festival. Lit the whole place up. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
No, it's a brilliant show. Everything about it, the material, the musicianship, the lights, it was just the whole production was brilliant. And I had an on the spot epiphany when running backstage. So who's in charge? We must do a Britpop version of this. And so how it works, you got a rock band with me on bass, symphony orchestra, like 40, 50-piece symphony orchestra, chorus of session singers, and like half of them, and a handful of special guests to give it a bit of star power, doing 90 minutes of Britpop bangers, golden age of British music. And I persuaded Festival's backers to book it to headline last year. And wasn't sure. I mean, I thought this cannot fail, but what I've learned over the years is you never know whether something's going to work or not until you actually try it. So I guess because I was taking a risk. I had to kind of, I learned all the bass parts. It's because two very different worlds, classical music and pop music.
Yeah.
Nothing ever gets written down in pop music, but everything is written down with orchestras. So otherwise, it's chaos. So it's a bit like putting Hugh Fearnley Whittingstall in a Michelin-starred kitchen, or trying to do kebabs at Claridge's or something. You're kind of mixing up. You don't, I mean, it should work, but you never know until you try. And there was like one rehearsal because it's a really expensive thing to stage. Just 60 musicians on stage. It's a lot of microphones. It's a lot of tech gear you need.
Yeah.
So it was like one chance to get it right at the rehearsal, and I walked into the rehearsal studio, tripped over some tubular bells, fell into a harp. There's a whole symphony orchestra there. I'm like, yikes, is this going to be all right? But we started playing "Creep" by Radiohead, and about halfway through, I noticed I was crying, and I don't think I was the only one. I was just so emotive, like the power of the orchestra, all that dynamic and nuance, and yeah, and so we that was the grand finale at Festival last summer, and my God, it really landed. It was just sensational. I was yeah, thank goodness because I sort of bet the farm on it. It had to work, but no, it was great. So we're doing a few festivals up and down the country this summer. Can't wait to get back to Southampton this weekend because, of course, grew up down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost a homecoming show.
Well,
Almost.
Southampton were my football team when I was a kid. But obviously as a Bournemouth boy, I'm.
Yeah, we'll
But
take it. We'll take it.
no, well, no. I mean, when Mickey Shannon scored the winner against Manchester United in the FA Cup final, that's a moment that I'll never ever forget. And I used to come and watch Southampton when I was a kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
big city up the road. Yeah.
So yeah, so the Britpop Classical, it's quite a cool concept because I know obviously Metallica have done
Have they?
S&M.
Metallica, really?
Well, Metallica did the S&M album with the Symphony
Yeah.
of the South. That was a few years ago, and that was incredible. So there's not been like a rock version of that. So it's kind of taking on that sort of space. It's quite cool.
Well, it's just I think when you've got a festival crowd, if you can hit them with stuff that they're familiar with, it really starts to resonate. And all these songs that we've kind of knitted together. I think if you just played with an acoustic guitar and sang along, you get goosebumps. They're all great songs. So when you add the rock band and the violins and the cellos and the French horns and the tubular bells and the harps, it's sudden it gets this kind of huge magic. It's not like we've kind of reinvented that. We've just added orchestral
Yeah,
oomph to these tunes, so it all kind of starts with this huge crescendo, going to the riff from Riverboat Song from Ocean Colour Scene, dun, 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 dun. And then Simon from Ocean Colour Scene comes on, sings it, everyone goes wow. And then Saffron from Republica comes on, we go into Ready to Go. Everyone's like wow, wow, wow. And then it goes into this crazy EMF Elastica mashup, and then it goes into like a Blur Nirvana. Everyone's like, what the hell? And by the time it gets to like the Oasis and Pulp and the big ones at the end, no one's going, where's Jarvis, where's Liam? Everyone's just singing along. That's what happened at Feast. It's
yeah,
by the time we get to the big ones at the end, it's sort of like 65% audience singing, 35% being the audience are louder than the band because those songs have all become sort of baked into our DNA somehow or other.
yeah,
They seem to mean more to more people now than they did when they were released. What made me think it might work was when Blur got back together, how much my kids and all their mates were into it. And it was the same with Oasis. There was a lot of Gen Z there.
yeah.
The songs just sort of continue to grow in people's, they're just part of the furniture.
Yeah, they have. With the set list, were
Yeah.
there any songs that didn't work with an orchestra that you maybe had to kind of throw away because it just didn't quite fit?
I was actually completely the reverse. I think after like the first three production meetings, we got it down to like 4.5 hours of hits that we absolutely have to do. I mean, because there was so much. Back in the 90s, music was the prism that everything flowed through. It was the focus of all culture. Now you've got like celebrities and influencers and but in the night there was nothing else. It was just it all had to flow through music. So there was so many great records being made. It was literally everyone in my class at school was in a band, apart from one kid, and he was the manager. Um, but so it's all about how they kind of you have to kind of stitch them together in terms of like the tempos and keys, and it's quite a complicated bit of knitting. And the way that you make it, the way that it works is you kind of break it down into suites. I've learned quite a lot of new vocabulary from every business has got its jargon, and
Yeah.
orchestras are no different. But a suite is basically just a passage of music that all hangs together. So we've got to break it down into like a high energy suite, a feel good suite, a Manchester suite, and then there's an orchestral suite where the orchestra really go bats on. Bittersweet Symphony and Creep, and then there's like a sing along suite. So it's just sort of giving it a little it's I guess it's like one of those West End musicals where but without the stupid plots. It's just all hits. In fact, that's another thing that made me think it might work. I went to see AC/DC summer before last with my eldest was like, Dad, AC/DC at Wembley, we've got to go. I was like, yeah, we
Yeah.
absolutely have to go. And we went, and it was I mean, I will never stop loving AC/DC, but we were a bit like, it was all right. And then my daughter was like, Dad, we've got to go and see the Michael Jackson musical in Soho. I was like, oh, okay. Went to see that with her. Oh my God, that was brilliant. Like I swear the band in that were better than AC/DC. AC/DC. And the Michael Jackson guy, the lights go down, spotlight on the corner of the stage. The Michael Jackson guy walks on, tips his hat. You go, oh, looks a bit like Michael Jackson. He starts singing. It's just like you're watching Michael Jackson. If the music's good enough,
Yeah.
you kind of it's the music's all that matters. So I think the fact that we've got like all these, it's like 60 musicians on stage, and we've got a bit of star power there as well. It just the whole thing just it floats somehow or other, and it's just we're just giving people what they want. It's but actually, I mean, actually. We did a UK tour like Albert Halls, Symphony Halls and stuff back in March. But the people, the crowd went crazy. But actually for something that is basically just a feel good thing, it's got 5-star reviews everywhere as well. So I mean, it's long may it continue. I'm loving doing it. They're great, they're great musicians. It's this energy on stage when you got that many musicians on stage. It's knockout. So,
Yeah, because it's a completely different vibe from Blur. Also, I'm assuming Blur's a lot easier because when you just it's like 4 or 5 guys, you can sort of work out set list
well,
a lot
yeah,
easier
you
than
say
60.
that, but like these people, like they turn up when they say that, when they're supposed to turn up. They do what they're told. So I mean, more of them, but like, I mean, oh yeah, no, I'm no, no, honestly, this is like going on holiday compared to Blur.
It's easier to control a whole orchestra than it
Yeah,
is.
the one guitar player, you bet. Yeah, yeah,
Like the one thing I did want to ask about Blur.
yeah.
Obviously, Blur are one of the biggest bands that have ever come out of the UK. Like obviously, when you came back and you start having discussions about what you're going to do, and oh, we're going to play a couple of shows, whatever, and somebody goes to you, oh yeah, should we consider Wembley? You go, oh yeah, Wembley Arena, and then I go, no, the stadium. Like how is that conversation? How do you feel when somebody goes, yeah, you could easily do the stadium. Yeah, do 2 nights.
Well, actually, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was 8 years last time. But we got back together in 2023, and Blur's agent called me and he was like, Wembley. I was like, yes. He said, that's the stadium. I was like, yes. And he's go, oh, oh God. It's like, I think you should have a meeting. I said, why do we need to have a meeting? Isn't it obvious? But anyway, had a meeting and decided that we'd do it. But yeah, I mean, I mean, we put one night on sale originally, because you don't know until you put a ticket on sale whether anyone's. I think Oasis, didn't expect that level, that level of kind of demand, and you just don't know. You just don't know whether anyone's going to. And it was incredible. It sold out in 5 minutes, and I said to my wife, we're doing 2 nights, to which she said Harry Styles is doing 4. That that's that's what I get. But no, I mean, they were the best shows we've ever done. But the way that we approached Blur was that we stripped it right back to just the four of us and Mike, the musical director and keyboard player, who's played with us for years. We thought it was best to just strip it like right back to basics because there is a tendency, as a band's career evolves for the number of people on stage to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But so we stepped it right back. With Britpop Classical gone completely the other way. I mean, there's just not enough. If I swing round too quickly, I knock the harp over. Do you know what I mean? I've got to be careful.
I was going to say because the stage at Southampton, it's the summer
I
sessions,
will
is
make
fairly
it.
big,
Yeah,
but
yeah, okay, yeah, well, I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I mean, because they've done it all with Ministry of Sound Classical. The team behind it absolutely know how to run
oh
the
no,
show. I've plugged into that team basically. It's the same orchestrator, same conductor, same leader of the orchestra. So, I mean, if you've seen that show, you'll love this one. I mean, it really is a joy to just blast through 90 minutes of absolute bangers, no fillers. People have been absolutely loving it. I can't wait. This is next weekend, right? Yeah.
yeah, this weekend.
This weekend, right? Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't mind, I've got just a very small, simple little game if you want to play.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just try me.
It's just blind ranking.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say Britpop in the loose terms,
Yeah.
mostly just 90s bands.
Okay. Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
So there's just 10 to go with. So
10. Okay.
obviously we're starting with the first one, which is Blur. Where are you going to put those in?
Well, number one, obviously.
Yes, I love that. Straight in there. Right. So then we're going to go with Stereophonics.
Stereophonics were great we had them at Festival a couple of years ago. They were brilliant, and the drummer was a dear, dear, dear fellow, Stuart. God rest his soul. I'll put them at number five because I know well, yeah, yeah, five.
It's a good spot for them. I do love a bit of Stereophonics. Pulp.
Fourth. Do you know what? Turns out you turn up anywhere in the country, everyone start playing a pop song with an orchestra. Everyone knows all the words. Who knew? I mean, I'm going to put them at number two
Ooh,
because just because of the way in Britpop Classical, the way that a Disco 2000 and Common People, it's such a great festival anthem, Common People,
yeah.
because it builds and it builds and it builds, and you think, well, and it still keeps building, it still keeps building. Just yeah, I mean, it's an epic. Yeah, number two for Pulp, definitely.
Then Suede.
10.
Manic Street Preachers.
Oh, nice boys, but 9.
9. Yeah. All right. Then we got Supergrass.
Oh, lovely boys. Oh, number 4, I reckon.
Yes. Caught by the Fuzz. Just such a good
Oh,
song.
the bass player, the bass line on all is an incredible bass player. It's a delight to play those lines. Yeah, that gets an airing with Britpop Classical.
And then we got The Verve.
But I put them right behind Stereophonics. I think number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Your memory's quite good. I've done this with people before. They go, what numbers I've got left? Right. This is why I'm saying not quite Britpop, but
Yeah.
definitely 90s. Radiohead.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, It just. I mean, the Creep works amazingly with an orchestra. I mean, I heard my daughter singing Creep with a guitar a while back. That's one of the moment I never forget. I thought, well, that's a really good song. We'll have it. Number 7 for them.
Number 7.
Mm.
So we've got 3
Yeah, and 8.
and
Yeah.
8. So Ocean Color Scene.
Yeah. I love Simon. He'll be there in Southampton. Yeah, I've got to put him number 3. Come on, he's my mate. But
Yeah.
Oasis at number 8, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not. I mean, I don't go clickbaiting them with that, but because I love them dearly. But they're just sorry, I can't do that. I can't put Simon at number 8. Um,
Yeah. See, my original plan was I was going to put Blur last and start with
okay.
Oasis.
Well, I was going to say number 1 for,
Yeah.
so.
Or it's going to be really cruel and say not actually put Blur in and see if you then left the number 1 spot
Yeah,
ready.
that would have worked. Yeah.
So yeah. So
So
Britpop Classical this weekend.
Britpop Classical this weekend. Yeah. I mean, it's a while since Blur were at Southampton. There was a memorable night at I think it was the Mayflower, like back in the 90s. Is
Oh,
that?
wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a great picture of me and my mum and dad backstage. Uh, I think, but I used to play. used to play there with my when I was still at school in Bournemouth. There was a couple of good gigs in couple of great gigs in Southampton. What was the one down on the waterfront? There was a good. Was it Mr. C's was in Bournemouth? Was it might have been called On the Waterfront actually. I
That,
remember
that's before my time.
it was before my time as well. I was literally 17. I shouldn't have been in there.
I didn't realise the Mayflower used to do actual proper gigs. I thought
Oh
it was
yeah,
all
yeah, no, it's
theatre.
great. Yeah, yeah. I think I saw the Bolshoi there as well. I mean, yeah, I think it's a bit noisier when there's a bit more beer being thrown when Blur played there. Um, I'm sure it was the Mayflower, but yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, but I have played. I played more in in Southampton with the Rising than I have with Blur. So I'm very pleased to be coming home with Britpop Classical this weekend. Can't wait to see you all. Honestly, it's a brilliant show. Trust me. See you down the front.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Alex. It's an absolute pleasure to chat to you, and we'll
All
see you
right,
this weekend.
cheers, man. All right, yeah, do come say hello if you can make it. Nice.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers. Thank
Can't wait.
you.
Cheers, man. All right, great talking to you. Thank you. Cheers.
Amazing.